Osiris.
Gang back together.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, definitely.
Gang here.
Oh god, feeling like death though.
Oh, really? Why is that, Joey?
Just too many good after parties at Stella Blues up in New Haven. Night 1 was fun, but night 2 was especially fun.
Yes, Stella Blues will get you like that.
Yeah, they had some great bands stop in afterwards.
Oh yeah, great bands have played there, including the one that we don't do a podcast for. And they had some good shows there too. But it's a fun little hole in the wall in New Haven. If anybody hasn't been, Stella Blues, it's a mainstay down there on College Street. Gotta go.
I could say from experience too, the more time you spend at Stella Blues on Friday and Saturday, the worse you'll feel on Tuesday.
Oh yeah.
Don't even need a day of rest.
Yeah, felt all right on Monday, but Tuesday is where it gets you.
You know, Bruce, what do you think? I'm just at this point, I'm just depressed by gravity.
Jesus!
Drinking a very strong sour beer for those of you at home. Hey, Kathy, thanks for tuning in.
All right, we got one.
We've got one. We're experiencing a sharp decline in listeners.
It took me a while just to even share the post. That's how rusty we are from a few weeks off.
It's been a minute.
Spamming out Goose, you know.
Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back to the Great Beyond Live Nighttime Edition. Thank you for tuning in. Summer tour is in full swing. Had a trio of really, really solid shows. Had a lot of fun this weekend. Learned a lot about ourselves. And we are beyond live right now.
I did not.
So we've got a guest tuning in around halfway through the show. He's going to recap a little bit of the weekend with us. The illustrious Matt Perry, Eyes of the Wood Creations. So we are going to have a chance for all of you to win probably the best giveaway we've ever given away. And I'm going to pass it off and let somebody else talk.
All right. Well, like usual, we're going to be doing some show recaps today. I don't know if we have anything else to talk about from this weekend. I went to one of the Goose shows, couldn't manage two.
Surprise.
It's a sad and embarrassing weekend for me, but I did shoot one of the better frolf rounds I've shot in many years at Cranberry Park on Sunday. So Memorial Day weekend was a win for me.
What'd you shoot, Doug?
It was 3 over on that course. It's a hard course. One of the best courses in the Northeast. If anybody's around Norwalk, Connecticut, Cranberry Park, great course. But yeah, I shot 3 over with a big group of fellas, the boys. It was good. It was a good time. It was nice out.
An assortment of chaps.
Yeah, and then I slept most of Monday. So that was a good weekend.
How about you, Joey? Tell us about your stay at the La Quinta, Palatial La Quinta.
Oh, the La Quinta. Yeah, me.
Oh.
Me,
no, Joey was
Elizabeth.
upgrading to the La Quinta.
That's it.
Wow. I did upgrade from a blow-up couch on a floor from Sweetwater to an actual bed, half of I believe it was a double bed.
Hard to tell.
I ran into
Quinta. I don't know the size of the bed. Yeah. It could be a mid-size between a twin and a double. You never really know.
Did no joke, like the sink was breaking every hour. Every time someone went in there, a little piece of the sink fell off. So, standard New Haven stay. We would drive by the New Haven Hotel and just dream of better days.
I love
Sinks don't stay together forever, though. Anyway, they deteriorate just not because of calcium buildup in the water.
That's why they're called
So, I don't blame the La Quinta for that. It sounds nice, though. Joey.
No, it is.
Really does.
I mean, it seems like the move for the future. Like, it's pretty close to the venue. Very close to the train station, which is nice on Sunday morning when you just don't want to move at all. And, 2-minute Uber to the train.
For sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Joey picked up a new variant of COVID at the La Quinta. I don't know if anybody else has
I think
noticed.
I invented a new variant of COVID.
Oh, nice. It formed inside of your body. That's a good one.
Yeah. A mix of Wook flu and whatever was on those sheets.
But what I like about it, what I like about the La Quinta, like
what's that?
The fact that they don't upgrade the sinks or really anything at the La Quinta in New Haven, that baby's recession proof. I mean, we're talking, it's like $89.99 standard nights, weekends, holidays, anytime minutes, sink or not. Like, you're not paying more than that.
Yeah, were you telling me there was like a Greek place you would get like cocktails? I was looking for it. I didn't see it.
Wow.
I've been a victim of the pandemic, unfortunately.
I can see it not being open. Yeah. Many cups of ouzo there. All right. So we got a lot to dig into. Not a lot of time. We're losing listeners by the minute as we explain how sinks work.
We barely got any to begin with.
None of this is surprising to us. Let's talk about these shows. So Friday night, Goose made their spectacular return to the Westville Music Bowl to kick off
Red Rocks of the East, as many call it.
Make a noise in the chat if you were there.
I thought that was Camden was the Red Rocks of the East.
No.
Or that's the Gorge. The Gorge.
Camden is most certain. Yeah, we can't even say that about, we're not going to say that about Camden. That's much too nice. But yeah.
Yep, the Red Rocks of the East.
Red Rocks of the East. It's crazy. Great little venue, though. I'm so happy it's so close to home.
Make a noise in the chat if you were there. There we go. Scott was there. Thank you, Scott. Blake was there as well. Russo was there. I
know Greg was there.
So Bruce, kick us off with set one from Friday.
All right, so set one. I mean,
the
obviously,
show that you did go to, yeah.
Oh yeah, the show that I did go to, and still barely remember. But the set one kicking off with Atlas. I love an Atlas opener. They don't pull that out that often anymore. Wasn't something I was thinking I would end up seeing. So definitely happy with that. They kept it pretty tight, but I'm never will. I love hearing Atlas. They can play it kind of as much as they want. They played it so much for years. It's kind of good that they put it on the back burner, but it's a great way to open the show. And then especially going right into Flow Down, So it's just a good 1-2 punch to open that first set and get the band warmed up, I think. Flow Down was kind of standard too, though. But they played it good. They sounded good. It was nice to hear that their first show back, kind of, I say kind of because they've been playing with some of their other outfits and they've been recording. So it's not like they haven't been kind of practicing together and with their other bands. So they came in sounding pretty good at Westville. I was happy to hear that and definitely a good start, high energy start.
Fantastic. Yeah, I mean, it was, I love that 1-2 punch, Atlas Flow Down. Well, yeah. I like that one punch.
Classic.
Atlas tour opener. Last time played, I believe, I hope Ryan Storm's here. I believe last time played was 126-22 at the Marquee Theater in Arizona.
Oh, okay.
But, I just love a summertime Atlas. I remember last spring, they held off for a bunch of shows and put Atlas at the top of every set list. I think people were trying to kind of look at the top of every set list. If you could see them on the camera for Fantasy Goose. Shout out to Fantasy Goose and Russo.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, alas, great start. Bruce, take us into Dr. Darkness, the story written about
Dr. Darkness. Dr. Darkness, funny thing is, people saying it sounded like House of the Rising Sun. When I first heard it, I guess I just wasn't listening that closely to the intro of the song. And you really hear it then. And I noticed at Westville, it was like, man, it really does sound a lot like that to open. But then it changes up a little bit. I love the lyrics to that song. And it's just kind of a good, it was another standard, but it's got a good vibe to it. Still kind of keeps the energy up a little bit, but gets a little vibey. So gotta love Dr. Darkness. Rick sounds great on that. Also, it's like right in his wheelhouse for singing a song like that, a classic rock style song. So gotta love it.
Definitely. Yeah, shout out to every single one of you that came up and said hi to us Great Beyond hosts, except for, me and Bruce, at least Joey definitely actively avoids us in public. But host Dr. Darkness, Pancakes, first smoking jam of the summer. Joey, what do you think?
I mean, the crowd, they were a little excited, going a little too quick for Peter. He was trying to slow us down, and then Ben kind of caught us, back in the mix. I feel like it would be cool if Peter didn't raise his hands, and then Ben just started like clicking on the rim of the stair, and like that was the cue for the audience to come in. But I like the whole like raising your hands and doing the jazz hands for a little bit.
Going at Peter pretty hard right now, Joey.
No, I'm just saying, like,
it sounds like you're attacking
people.
him.
Clearly, the audience doesn't pay attention to his pace. So when I'm looking at his hands and clapping slower than everyone else, I feel weird.
Put your hands down.
Yeah, that's why they needed somebody in New Haven accurately commanding what to do with your hands. I'll just say that.
The only time the hands should go up is when you're hearing it repeatedly from Greg on stage.
And we're going to talk a little bit more about this when we talk about night two, because there were certainly some movements prompted by the band. I'm thinking Redbird that we just need to dig into. But body movements aside, good.
Pancakes was tight.
Really good. Yeah.
It always is.
It was definitely the first standout of the night for sure.
Visions
and it is always good. Yeah, shout out.
Jesus, man. All right, let's move on quickly from that before anyone notices. Seekers 1 and 2, boom, boom, bang, bang. That's a 1-2 punch I really like. Flawless execution.
It's a good spot for them too. Like, sometimes you can think, and this started to happen after they've played it a bit, because like I love those two songs, and people started to mention how it feels a little slow in certain set lists and at certain times. So I think after that, Monster Pancakes, like putting it in, somewhat of the middle towards the end of the first set, it's good timing for that pairing too.
That wasn't a short stack, that Pancakes.
Oh, no. Flapjacks.
Jesus Christ. Seekers is one of those songs that takes me a while. It's one of those like Travelers, El Meg, like it takes me a little while to figure out which song it is. And then, it's really until it busts into part 2 that I can confidently say, oh yeah, that was Seekers. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm just a bad Goose fan, maybe. Sue me.
Naming. Yeah.
You're too busy using your hands. Yeah. So Seekers 1 and 2, I thought really just fantastic, flawless, really well done. Closing out the set with a fan favorite Hot Tea. I believe the only repeat of the weekend. I could definitely be wrong about that.
No, I think it was.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, but that Hot Tea was good though. And it's just like that set was, I think a solid opener at the time. I was just like, besides Pancakes, that Hot Tea, they could jam out some other songs definitely as good as they do Hot Tea. And I think maybe we've, seen too many Hot Teas, but it was a good one. It was a very good one. And to close out the first set is good. Better than closing out the second set again with a Hot Tea.
100%.
So.
There was one point, I forgot if it was set 1 or set 2. It might have been early set 2, where I swear the wind gust, I saw Russo brought up the wind, and it smelled like pancakes. Like, I don't know if anyone else in the crowd felt that, but me and Kieran both looked at each other and were like, do you smell fucking pancakes right now? It wasn't during Pancakes, though. It was like well after it. I don't know.
Joey had a lot of Sunset Lakes.
No.
Somebody had a hot plate right out in the middle of the field and just were grilling. Didn't just flapping flapjacks right there. They just got the anchor in,
Whatever. Set 2.
I don't know. It happens. I guess New Haven's down home.
It happened. I swear to God it happened. Like something else happened that I'll bring up later that people told me I was crazy, but was confirmed by other people.
Like an old Cracker Barrel right there in Westville. It makes perfect sense.
Old Waffle
House. We almost went to that Cracker Barrel.
There's a Cracker Barrel in New Haven?
In New Haven, apparently. Yeah, we were looking up places to eat. Someone brought up Cracker Barrel. We were like,
no way. I was just joking. I didn't think there was a Cracker Barrel within 25 miles of New Haven.
I didn't think so either.
Yeah, jeez. What's next?
Figure.
Who needs a pizza? Just go to Cracker Barrel.
I'm not sure that's the first Cracker Barrel I would go to be honest. But yeah, anyway.
It would certainly be the last. Shout out to Russo. Good point. These scents could have easily been new flavors of Bar.
Oh, yeah.
Bar.
Okay.
Yes, the new Goose sponsored brand.
Definitely looking for griddle cake flavored vapes.
Cake and bake, baby. Set two. Whole bunch of classics for those of y'all who have been around here for a while, dealing with folks like us. Opener was Madhavan.
Yeah, the way they introed it, I thought it might have been a funk Yuvon. Like the slow funky Madhavan. I know. I've been waiting a long time to hear it, but they won't fucking play it when I'm there.
Well, I mean, you keep shouting at Peter about the hand stuff, and they're not going to play it.
I guess it's my own fault.
They're vindictive.
Yeah,
I could say some rough shit about that funky Von, but I'm gonna be nice.
Yeah, we need this. We need this, Joey.
All cylinders tonight.
I'm mad. I had a rough day at work.
I like that. Well, the Quinta got you charged up.
Yeah, man. Look at this. Look, Joey's the edgy one here.
All of a sudden.
Does that make me the heartthrob? All right, so Madhavan, classic Madhavan, great jam, good set 2 opener. I just think Westville's a different place when the sun goes down. Like, I wish that the curfew was not.
Yeah.
What is it? 10?
10.
Yeah.
And there's
10 o'clock, I mean.
The early curfew's kind of nice. Like, obviously now I'm an older fan, but I stay up late. I kick it with the guys, but it's like I just think that 10 o'clock is really early, and it's weird to have to play half your show kind of in the early evening, almost late afternoon, and then the other half, when it gets dark. But they definitely picked it up a notch, noticeably. And obviously, like you said, kicking it off with Madhavan, it does.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think that they're like deeply into set 1 before Jeopardy's on.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm watching on my phone too, trying to answer questions, trying to listen to the show. But
you get home in time for 2020. So
yes, I was talking to Sam too after night 1, asking him if there was like a sound limit too for the venue, and he was saying because I remember like set 1, people were saying like it sounds kind of quiet, and I think it's just testing all right, like how loud can we get here? People could whisper to each other on the floor and you could like hear them. But definitely. It seemed like, at least, I don't want to jump ahead, but like set 2, night 2, like it kind of worked itself out. I had no complaints about the sounds after that.
Well, plus on the floor, I think the sound's pretty good for like a lot of venues on the floor at Westville, especially for outside. But the speakers are still going over your head. So inevitably, it's going to be a little bit quieter down there, but it's good to hear that they kind of sorted it out a little bit more for the second show.
Bruce, what's on the menu, my boy?
Oh, dude, sorry. Sorry, everybody on the podcast. I got to eat these Szechuan dumplings that I nuked to hell before. So they're, the noodle, the wonton around them is a little chewy.
Yeah, I feel that. Anything could be happening in my air fryer at the moment, but who knows? We'll figure that out after the episode. We're so on fire today.
Yeah.
So Creatures, second song of set 2. We're really, really expeditious here.
We're moving today fast.
Creatures was bomb.
Yeah, Creatures was
Bruce,
fire.
you let out an audible sigh. Creatures. It was a positive sigh.
Yeah, see, that's what I was going to say. Out of so many sighs, there are many different types of sighs that I'm going to be letting out, and that was a positive one. I'm always happy to hear Creatures. Obviously, second set Creatures, give that to me all the time, really. So, and plus, it was a good one. They kicked off the jam in a good spot, and then I thought it, and then how it led into the end of Pancakes. It was so funny to me because I'm standing there with some friends and obviously Fish fans and stuff, and I'm telling you, dude, towards the end of that Creatures into Pancakes was just Wolfman's Brother, and I told Rick after the show, I was glad that you finished Wolfman's Brother, but you can't lie to the crowd and pretend it's Pancakes by dropping the end of Pancakes in there. You're not like fooling anyone. Everybody already knew you covered Wolfman's. You finished it. It sounded great, and then Pancakes. Yeah, it's like, okay, not tricking anybody. But it was a good try. I appreciate the effort.
Fire wolf cakes.
Anyway.
Wolf cakes. I like that. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Joey, tell us a little bit about your experience with Wisteria Lane, aka the theme song of this ragtag group of swashbuckling podcasters.
I mean, and this is no disrespect. As soon as I started, it is my cue to go to the bathroom. Just because I know, all right, I can get this portion. I know I can make it to the bathroom. Most people aren't going to the bathroom during that song. True. So I know I can go quick, get back for the jam, which I do every time. And you know, it's late in set too. You know, I've been holding it in for a while. Isn't this riveting? But yeah, no. And then, you know, people, every time they sing The Great Beyond, someone makes a terrible joke at my expense. So, nice, you know, dude. That's
hey, Joey, we need to get you angry every episode. You gotta move. This is much better for me, obviously.
This is what happens when I spend like, you know, 36 to 48 hours with our friend Kieran. It rubs off on me.
Hey, Kieran.
Oh, shout out to Kieran. But shout out to the little Quinta because that shit toughened Joey up. Joey's out here throwing punches nonstop about Wisteria, about Peter.
They're not punches.
I like it. I like it. I am a fan. To be honest.
Yeah, by your shirt, I could tell you like it.
Well, you know, they're questionable. That's all.
Okay. So we closed out the second set of the tour opener with Same Old Shenanigans. What do you think?
I mean, good. Yeah, I mean, I just thought the whole second set was great, especially for the tour opener show. It made sense that the first set, they were trying to get a feel for things and get into some things. And I think even the first set went pretty well. You know, you got that huge Pancakes jam and Hot Tea was great, and got an Atlas opener. So there's not much to complain about. But you could tell it was kind of like a lot of standard versions of songs pretty much. And just you could feel them getting warmed up. The second set was great, you know, and you can't go, that whole Creatures to Pancakes is sick. You know, Madhavan, obviously, like you said, great way to open. SOS, great way to close. Just a lot of hits in that second set as far as that goes. And then great encore too. Another big song. Can't believe this song's new kind of to the arsenal because it's
I know, isn't it crazy? Rockdale feels like it's been here forever at this point.
Yeah, it does. It really does. And I love it. I love the freaking song, and I love the end of that song. Cannot get enough the end of that singing end of that song where they just drop down. It's so good.
Yeah.
And what about we haven't talked about Getty's new light rig yet at all. I mean, that guy, like every single show, he's like the MVP for me.
Sick and twisted. That guy.
He's incredible talent. And dude, and plus that's another thing about Westville is, you know, you can be tasteful behind the band when it's still light out for sure. But you certainly miss a whole set, if you will, of Getty, when you're going there for that. So that is that is something of a downside a little bit, but certainly at night, Getty ripped it up. That's for sure. Yeah.
And there was even at Sweetwater, like they played during the day, and like every other light show I saw during the day, like you barely noticed it, but there's something about his lights that like can cut through daylight even. I don't know if it's just like the style that he does, or like he has that extra intensity on the lights.
The haze also helps.
It's in the wrist.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all wrist action.
Was that night one where he like busted the smoke to the point where like it looked like the whole band disappeared for a second?
Yeah.
Was that night one?
Did it during SOS. He did it both nights, really. Great question from Dean Carlson. What was added to the setup? You asked three dudes who have no knowledge of lighting tech, but definitely the line bar things.
The line bars, yeah. I thought they were going to start spinning at some point, but like the angles they would do were like cool enough, and the fact that they were different angles.
Maybe Amy in the chat can affirm this. Circus of Lights. Amy knows the lights very well. Also, check out her branded goods, including hoodies and T-shirts made with Getty's Light Designs. Thank you, Circus of Light, for sending that to us.
Yeah, they're cool.
I'd be wearing them now, or I'd be sweating in this. But yes, these light arm things, the long guys. Good to add some lights at the top too. Multicolored.
Yeah, more of those circle ones with like the bunch of different lights in the middle that he can make the smiley faces with.
This is terrible analysis. Although, I
think this is a sign we should just have him on and explain to us what these lights are.
Oh, for
Oh,
sure.
excuse me.
100%. We should have somebody on that knows what they're talking about.
Oh, definitely.
And why
New
don't
LED
we
panels,
have
those are-
somebody
yeah.
on who can chat with us? So we're going to introduce our special guest right now. Our special guest was there for night 2. So hopefully our special guest can help us expeditiously recap night 2. So I'm going to do a quick intro. Special guest is Matt Perry. If you saw any photos of me, your boy, rocking a fresh wooden Goose sign, kind of like Flavor Goose, Goose Flav. That was made by hand by Matt Perry in his workshop where he's broadcasting live from. Matt was in the U.S. Army and learned to make things by hand with every resource available. He's an excellent woodworker who makes a lot of custom stuff. And he's an all-around amazing dude. So let's bring in Matt. Ladies and gentlemen in the chat, applause for Matt Perry.
Ooh, look at that workshop, man.
Look at that workshop.
Damn.
How you doing, Matt?
Doing pretty good.
Got a sick mic, too. Jeez.
I got something to say about La Quinta.
Oh, let's go.
Oh, yeah. Let us know.
They kind of effed me over with my wedding a couple weeks ago and all my guests. So
those
that
sons of
wasn't fun.
bitches. No,
Man.
what happened?
I had a wedding block set up, and a day before the wedding, they called me up and they were like, "Oh, we need a credit card number." Like, why?
I know why. I tried to give his credit card numbers too.
I ended up smoothing it all over, but that La Quinta in New Haven is a little special.
Yeah, it is. It's a special place with a lot of memories.
It's why Joey's in a special mood today. That's my reasoning.
So Matt, thanks for helping
imagine.
with us today. Let's talk about all the good that's going on here. We want to hear a little bit more about you, a little bit more about some of your work, because it's absolutely incredible. For some context, those of you who have been, again, listening to our nonsense for a long time, you may have seen some of Matt's signs hanging up at various different Goose events, including Bingo Tour right behind myself and Bruce broadcasting. If you look above his left shoulder, you may see a Goose sign there too. So Matt, tell us a little bit more about how you got into woodworking and where it's led you.
So I basically got my background from my mentor, also named Matt, from the Army. He kind of put me on this path, taught me the ways of woodworking. And then, as a civilian, it became a bit of a hobby for me. And I enjoyed just making things in general. I originally made a very nice thing for Eggy. These guys right here.
Love Eggy, good friends of the podcast.
Oh, yes.
See them
indeed.
Thursday.
Yep.
And so I made them a pretty cool sign. And then from there, got in touch with the Goose guys because I wanted to make something nice for them as well. And started talking with Peter. And basically locked down this design concept. Woo!
Yeah,
right there.
That wonderful cursive logo that everybody loves.
So we decided on using cherry wood with a cherry stain, and then I coated them all in epoxy. But the baseline is that I made the original sign as a gift for the band, and then they liked it so much that they asked me to make 50 more.
I was wondering how big that run was.
And so I made 50 more by hand. This thing on the wall, I can't get the angles right.
Yeah, no, it's hard. Yeah,
it's that's my master stencil is what I call it. So that's the one that I use. So whenever I make a Goose sign, that's what I use to lay out the design, and then I cut it all out with a jigsaw.
Jeez,
how long did that take you? 50.
Ooh, gosh, it takes when all things are said and done, about 2 hours per sign. So
wow,
yeah,
All right, 100 hours.
Well, that's a good that's a good chunk of
that's
time.
a lot of time. Yeah, it's about as much time as Bruce spends whittling through comments every day. in
No.
Goose.
Oh,
100 hours
no.
a day.
I would be
my.
crying right now if that was the case. No,
so, I mean, like, this takes a bunch of time, and we know you've got a day job too. You got a lot on your plate. You just got married. Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats, man.
But
Thank you.
tell us a little bit more about how this passion's grown. Like, I think little birdie tells me that the past couple of years have kind of given you an opportunity to work a little bit more on it.
Yeah, so I honestly, like, COVID kind of fucked with everybody in a way.
It still is, yeah.
Yeah.
And it still is, but it really was honestly like a time for me to expand and grow as an artist. So I originally embarked on the endeavor of making, Goose signs for the band, like just prior to COVID hitting. And then once COVID, was just sinking into everybody's lives, it gave me an opportunity to spend more time in my workshop and do more creative projects. And I also made a lot of cool connections in the music community as well.
Yeah. So what other kind of bands are you working with now? Are you still making merch for anybody or any projects on the timeline?
So I've been working with Eggy, around the same time frame. I make stuff for them here and there. I made some cool stuff for Karina Reichman.
Awesome.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah,
Excellent.
Hey.
Another Osiris podcaster, and she happens to be a pretty good musician as well.
Oh my God, she blew my mind at Peach Fest in 2021. Yeah. Like, came out and she had me moshing. Like,
Great bass player for sure.
Yeah. And then I have eyes to make things for other bands in the scene. I leave it up to a surprise factor. Whenever I'm ready to do it, I make things and I just kind of shove it in their faces.
Sure. That's what you do with the podcast.
Yeah, pretty much.
That is what we do. So I mean, the work is incredible, and I got a lot of compliments on it once you passed it off to me on night 2. Heavier than I expected. Not gonna lie, and you said you got to wear it the whole show. I was like, damn, man, this is so heavy. So not a lot of moving my head around, which is just the way that I normally dance. But thank you so much for putting it together for us. We're gonna give it away today. I've got a good trivia question. But you came out to the Saturday show, and as far as I know, it was your first time on the GA floor at Westville. How was that experience?
Yeah. So. I will admit, when I handed off the sign to you, I actually broke my sunglasses. And so that was a thing, but it's okay. I was still able to wear them with one arm on the side of my face the rest of the night.
All right. I think
Greg
can reimburse them.
You can just make yourself new ones, right?
Yeah. Honestly, I found that pair of sunglasses at Fred Fest anyway. So
excellent.
Okay.
Excellent.
But yeah. Like I went to both of the Westville shows last year, but in the stands, and was not allowed to sneak down in general admission. So I was kind of like sitting there like, oh gosh, I want to be down there with all my friends.
Yeah.
So this time around was amazing. Like, had such a fun time just hanging out down there. It's like, it's a much different experience being on the ground. Like, the community of people that have grown around Goose is just like astounding. Like, it feels like a family reunion every time I go to a Goose show.
Yeah,
it really does. It does for us as well. Especially at Westville too, and it's our home turf. It's nice it's really nice to have that venue as our sort of home turf for an outdoor summer show. And that floor, I never stand on the floor these days unless I have to. And that floor at Westville is one of the floors I go for. I will only go GA there, partly because that AstroTurf is so comfortable under your feet, so nice to dance on. But, just like we were talking about, the sound's pretty good for that floor. It doesn't blast you out, but it's pretty clear. And it's just so much fun. It's such a fun vibe down there. You know, you're right there connected to the tunnels to go outside and to hit the drinks and stuff. So it's like, it's just so sweet. Yeah, Gino, my home turf is Comstock. Yes, specifically, but I can also play tennis at Westville if I tried. Sure.
I mean, sure. Bring the freaking, I don't even know what to call them.
Couple rackets, dude.
Rackets,
you can make me a couple wooden rackets.
Yeah, we're only bringing them if you make them.
I don't know if I don't even know what they're called. I don't know if I can make them.
Nah, you got it. No, you got it. They did that shit years ago. You can easily do that.
Fun story though. This thing right here above my head. That
got it. Yep.
used to belong to Jeff. Because I was
tambourine.
Yeah, it was Jeff's tambourine. I was modifying it for him, and then I fucking broke it. So I ended up buying him a new tambourine and modifying it in the same way. And so now I just have Jeff's tambourine hanging around. I actually broke it twice. So
nice.
What modifications are you making to a tambourine?
I put a handle grip on it so that he's comfortable when he's shaking.
So like give it a little
yeah, like a nice like molded handle. Like I don't know how to explain it, but
little finger loops in there to comfortably fit.
We don't want Jeff's gentle palms to be too roughed up from the hard edges of the tambourine. I do understand that. So
I mean, it's a stressful job to have, you know.
Oh, it is. He's hitting all kinds of shit with his hands, so you got to protect your hands.
You got to keep those calluses down.
Oh, definitely.
That's right. Protect Jeff at all costs. So let's talk about the show. Because I think Saturday night was an awesome show, and shout out to Mother Nature for not raining on us much. But set one, like I say, we're gonna dig into set two. But set one, Drive, California Magic, Old Man Boat. To start out the show, what did you think coming out of the gates, Matt?
Honestly, my favorite song of that set was Turn Clouds.
Oh yeah,
personally. I mean, that was later, maybe even the last song of the set, but I personally love Turn Clouds, and Old Man's Boat also love it.
Yep,
great new song. Yeah,
it just I don't know, between Turn Clouds and then I don't want to dip in the second set yet, but like that Into the Mist in the second set.
Oh yeah,
was
let's just go to the second set. Let's go
Into the Mist.
Yeah, let's just do it. Drive, California Magic, Boat, Clouds. Honeybee was great. Love it. Yeah, it was a really good Honeybee. Surprisingly awesome. Really invigorated my love for bees of all types. And then Empress.
I love bees.
Joey, we're going to set two, but Joey, how did you feel like the clapping went on Empress?
It went well. That people know Empress. They know because they feel it before the clapping part starts. So people are already in it, man. And it's pretty easy. It's not like a complicated stash where you're dealing with triplets. People, you can get quarter notes for this crowd.
Also felt like rain that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. But it was.
It always feels better singing that line when it's supposed to rain or like currently is raining.
Yes. Yeah.
It's good when it's not, though.
Yes.
It's nice
when
it's sprinkle.
Yeah. You say there's a 50% chance of rain today, and I say, what
a day!
I hope it doesn't.
Yeah,
I'd say that's highly unlikely.
Yeah. Okay, finally we've stumbled through this, and we are at set two, Redbird.
Yeah.
Okay, so a lot of chit chat about Redbird on socials. Is it good? Is it not good? Are we birding? Are we straight birding? Regardless, this was a fire Redbird fire jam. Very, very well executed song structure. My question for all of you, we'll start with Bruce, we'll do Matt, then we'll do Joey. Actually, we'll start with Joey, then we'll do Matt, then we'll do Bruce. What do we think about
Joey now?
I'm scared. Joey's been on luck. What do we think about Ben's bird-like movements during the vocal section? Joey, tell me first.
I mean, to keep with the theme, I feel embarrassed for him. Frankly, no, I'm kidding. No, I love it. No, I love it. And I snuck up to the rail for set two. Thank you, Tamara, and all my friends on the rail for letting me stay there. And Sam stopped by. I think she was there during Redbird, and the fact that like Butter, we got Ben's two, greatest hits right there, the weirdness.
Yes.
But like I don't know. I like his moves. Yeah. Everyone seemed to like it.
For a guy in a bird band, it definitely seemed like you hit.
Yeah.
And the facial expressions really get into it too.
Foul band.
Matt, thoughts on Ben's bird gesture.
Well, here's the thing. I love Ben, so he can do whatever the fuck he wants. That song in particular, I think it's a great freaking song. It hits home for me in many ways. My mother has been perpetuating cardinals as like a sign for years now, just of love and friendship, whatever you want to call it. But my grandfather passed away right around when the band released Redbird for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And like that was like Redbird was like his reincarnation. Like when he passed away, a cardinal came to the windowsill. They hadn't seen a cardinal in weeks, and he sat there for like an hour. That song has pretty heavy meaning to me. I freaking love it. So if Ben wants to flap his wings, then just have at it, buddy.
Thanks. I love that.
That is excellent.
It's a great song. I love it.
Yeah,
I agree. I mean, we're straight burden here at the podcast. So
yeah, we're burning. So another Ben Atkins classic joint, Butter Rum, followed up. Turbo Rum, Big Jam.
Fast Rum, kind of like that old Covington Rum from 2018. I think it was either the first show or the second show. But they never play it like that. It's like a fast rocker in those cases and less appropriated, if you know what I mean. So it's like, it's.
All I know is that Joey probably had to throw that back on when he was on the New Haven coastline at La Quinta with a ice cold mojito. Joey, what'd you think about that butter rum?
Like I'm drinking mojitos. I was drinking Miller Lights, and that's pretty much it at the La Quinta. No, I loved
lattes,
it. I love
Miller
lattes,
and baby.
Honestly, the coolest thing was because we've heard in a couple interviews that Ben can't sometimes reach his mic to sing the parts, so Peter just walked over, helped him out a little bit, just brought the mic right in front of his face, and dude, the crowd was on the echoing Butter Rum back to the band. Like that's
excellent. Excellent.
Yeah. That was
that's what you get from the hometown crowd there.
And Peter also Peter's solo was awesome. Like that little walk around the stage solo with some delay. Nice.
I like that little shake. That was very Peter.
He's got a shake. Yeah. He's got a shake these days.
So awesome rum. And then we've got Echo Veros. I personally love this version.
Fast Echo.
Fast Echo, but it's not just fast.
Yeah.
It also has those
groovy
vibes. Those carried the island vibe. Matt, what do you think about Echo?
Yeah, I agree with you. It's got like a nice Caribbean island vibe to it. And it's like you don't think of it when you think of the song title. Like, oh, Echo of a Rose, but like every time you hear it come on, it's like, oh, back in I feel like I'm on the beach right now.
Yeah. Getting down.
Yeah.
Dude, when are they going to When are they going to do that? Like the finished Echo of a Rose, where they do that like layered harmony at the ends, where they're like going up. You know what I'm talking about?
Echo.
Probably not until like the next time they play the regular version of Echo. I wouldn't imagine. That's supposed to be the ending for that.
But like with that, with that like fast jam too. I feel like it would fit.
Yeah,
but
it's cool. They haven't done that in a while. I wonder when the last time they did that was.
I don't know if you can find it on Nelsons.net.
Yeah, not
sounds like you're gonna have to do it now.
No, we don't do that. We don't do that.
If only there was a website.
We don't prepare like that.
Archive.
Yeah, if only the band listened to us or our podcast. So let's talk about what we want to talk about, which is the Into the Mist. First Mist that was finished since 11/17. City, aka the Truman Show. Matt, what do you think?
Sorry, I busted that one open. My bad.
No.
I was
good.
Super excited about that one. Like, I wasn't sure if it was Creatures when they were introing it. Like, I was trying to figure it out because I'm usually pretty good at picking the songs out. But then
happens
like
to a lot
intro.
of people, though.
Similar
The
intro.
Creatures Mist
Yeah.
thing happens to everyone.
But then like when they dropped into the mist, like it was, I know it like 4th of July fireworks. I don't know what to call it. Like that.
Yeah.
That was the song of the night for me.
Yeah, you cannot go wrong with Into the Mist second set. It absolutely cannot. And then, like, just like Creatures, although they share a similar vibe in some ways, there's still these different. I love these songs. I don't want to say masterpieces, but they're incredible songs. Like, I never get tired of hearing either of them. And second set is where you want to see it play, especially late in the set like that. Especially after they're on fire, jamming some stuff out already. That's always bodes well. But yeah, you know, how many people are still getting that raw no Creatures and Mist? It's funny, it shows because people always botch that call, and it's really funny.
Curious though, why don't they play it more often? Is that just like the special one? Or is it difficult?
It's very special to me.
Like,
I don't know, dude. Rick wants to play indie songs now, and we got to get Joey to come back, be our muscle. And what's up with these?
Yeah, Joey, you got to talk to these guys,
in the
man.
Mist, baby.
Come on,
No,
Joey.
I saw them Saturday.
Here now.
Saw them Saturday. I crumbled.
Somebody's got to buy Ben an E-drum if he's not going to do it himself, because there are Creatures jams and Mist jams that, God, it would be so nice. Get a couple thunderclaps in there, But anyway, I could go on for that for a while. So I'm not gonna do that.
was it Mist or Dripfield where, again, Getty, like, once the sun goes down is just the MVP. But like Getty had the 2 green angular lights like focus in on Rick, like right, it was all black. That was Dripfield? Okay. So
yeah.
All right. Yeah.
I had the distinct pleasure of standing right behind Getty. Actually, probably uncomfortably close to him as he was doing lights for Dripfield. And man, that guy's an incredible light designer. But let's just talk about Dripfield, because it closed set 2, and of course it
drip drop
echoed into the encore. So, Joey, you first. Besides the lights, what did you think of that drip?
I mean, I was just lost in hey, I honestly, like, I just remember it being like the highlight of the show for me, even though if on paper you showed it to me, I would have been like, okay, closing with Dripfield and then like encoring with the Dripfield jam, like it probably was cool, but like being there in the moment, that was the highlight of the show for me.
That's heat, dude. Yeah. It sounds excellent.
100%. Matt, go ahead.
Want my opinion about Dripfield?
Yeah.
Dude.
What? It was dripping.
It does. It do be like that sometimes.
It was like, but like they like ended it and they walked off for like 17 seconds and then came right back on and continued the song. So it was like, I wonder, like, was there like some sort of politics involved? Like they had to like leave and then come back, or like what was up with that?
Well, they had a hard cut at 10.
Well, this band isn't great with time,
and they are bad at time management. Really, really, really bad at time management. So I think really got to make lemonade, I guess. With lack
but
of
you
time.
know what? Those drone jams, they did that at, in Charleston, I believe, when they walked off that encore and then came back and played Magic Carpet Ride. And they let the drone jam go for like, maybe like 2 minutes or something. It was mad cool. Like, I like that they're, playing with some of these toys now. Rick obviously applying a lot of effects, little things he has in front of him on stage now. And of course, Peter's always fucked around with that stuff too. So it's like, they're just playing around with trying out some new things. And I do actually really quite like these drone jams that extend that song while they take a quick break and then come back out and rip something. Like it's a cool idea and a cool concept. And then, I'd like to see them kind of expand on that a little bit, but I'm glad to hear them doing that with Dripfield is a good song for it, because it's kind of a long song. So you can split it up like that and make it feel like 2 completely different sections.
Peter's new synth is like my favorite thing about this band now. Like, it really provides that like layer under the bands where they can like do a little roller coaster. They can do like a little ebb and flow, but like that lasting synth sound is just like always there. Yeah, Scott, I agree.
Yeah. Peter's got a couple different Moog synths that he's messing around with that I think he's going to bring out on the road with him. So we're getting
Nice.
sound, and a whole lot more sound.
I like sounds.
Drip Field, just tremendous. The jam for the encore really just took it to another level. I happened to be next to our friend John Leibowitz for a lot of it, sweating aggressively. Just absolutely incredible. Great way to wrap up 2 nights back at home, and I don't know. It was great to be there. Great to see everyone. Great to be back home.
Yeah.
So
this was a great place.
We've got a little bit more to go. Matt, thank you for joining us. We got to recap one more show, so we're not doing the giveaway quite yet. But I want you, 1, to share some wisdom with our listeners, and 2, tell our listeners where we can find you for some good wood work.
Ooh.
All right. I'm going to share some wisdom with our listeners. The lyrics to Jive used to say, right on through the Wiltonian Jive. And now he never fucking says that anymore.
Shout out to Wilton.
The Wiltonian Jive.
It's never going to get, I don't know if he's ever going to say.
Right on through.
He dropped one last year, I'm pretty sure. Not sure what show, but I think it was one.
Yeah,
no, he doesn't say it anymore. He just says right on through. Just right on through. No,
I will sometimes shout it in the crowd, but
and I will too if I'm there.
Yeah,
thank you, man.
Maybe it's up to us.
Yeah, but you can find me. This is my logo. Eyes of the Wood.
Eyes of the Wood.
You can find me on Instagram. Eyes of the Wood, not plural. Eyes of the Woods is a game camera company.
Not the game camera company, then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
So just wood.
The wood guy.
No S. And that'll be me. Come find me.
Right.
Excellent.
Wait, one more question, Matt. Are you gonna go to Eggy on Thursday? Garcia's?
Hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. All right. All right. Well, we'll see you there.
Good.
I'm definitely planning on hitting it up. I think we're all gonna try to get there. So
All right, sweet, dude.
yeah.
I'll see you there.
All right, Matt. Thank you so much for joining. We appreciate you making us this sign. And we love your work.
Doing a sweet.
As Scott says, you're the best. Love your work. Love you. And we'll see you soon.
Love you guys.
Thanks,
All right,
Matt.
adios, Matt. Thanks, man.
Cheers.
So,
Thanks for coming, Matt.
thank you, Matt.
Have a
Thank
good
you
one,
so
man.
much for joining. You the man. Sorry I'm so hard to reach by text. Before we move forward, let's do a giveaway to Eggy. Let's do a 2-ticket giveaway to Eggy at Garcia's on Thursday night. This Thursday.
Can I win? Because I don't have a ticket yet.
In the comments, you can. Not
All right, I'm ready.
In the comments, Eggy, this Thursday at Garcia's at the Capitol Theater in Port Chester, New York, in the evening. Tell me the date and the venue in the chat. Date and the venue of the first album that Eggy posted on Bandcamp. Date, venue, Bandcamp. Winner gets
quick fingers
tickets and a quick little egg away giveaway. And if you haven't check out the Nashville tapes for streaming across all streaming platforms. Eggy's newest project. Nashville tapes were tracked down in Nashville while they were on tour with Spafford. All that good stuff.
Just to cover our bases, it shows June 2nd, this Thursday.
Eggy at Garcia's, not a Goose podcast. Eggy at Garcia's.
They got a big Deaf Cat opening for them that I don't know if anybody's heard of. But the doors are at 7, so check out that opener and then check out Eggy. I'm excited to see Eggy. I love it. And close to home, a full show. None of this opener nonsense for those boys. And Garcia's, dude, classic venue. God, I just love the Cap, and I love Garcia's, and I always have. And again, like with Westville, definitely blessed to have some of these venues so close to home. So many cool venues. College Street Music Hall is great. I believe that's run by the same people as Westville or some affiliation. Maybe I'm wrong.
There could be.
Stella Blues, Toad's Place, all these New Haven places, and then we got places in New York. It's just great.
We've got a winner.
Oh,
we
right.
have a winner, and I'm sorry, Josh England, not you, although you were correct. Show 9/8/2015, Pacific Standard Tavern in New Haven, Connecticut. Jonathan Leibowitz,
Oh,
you just won
wow.
yourself 2 tickets to Eggy at Garcia's.
Nice.
All right, so let's.
How do we have that poll?
We'll see you there.
Yeah,
little
what
text.
the hell, man?
So let's move on. Let's talk a little bit about Boston Calling. A
Yes.
show that none of us attended.
No, so yeah,
it's just-
I actually did
it was
listen to a little of it. I see we have notes on it.
We're going to recap that. We're going to give away a sign. See, we lost 10 listeners already because they wanted to win that sign and realized we're not giving it away yet.
Ooh. Huh.
All right, so
Tricks on
I
them.
did get some notes from John Caruso of the El Goose Times.
Oh, right.
But before we move forward, we've got a question from Nas in DC. Joey, what's the cat's name?
Oh, Nas, what's up? Nas is one of my friends who let me stand in front of her on the rail for a good 5 seconds till I felt guilty.
Nas.
This is
And
Harley. That Harley likes to walk across my computer, and then Trip is the other cat who's sleeping right now. So
You
yeah,
ever think we should introduce Trip to my cat Lucy?
no.
Oh, a little
No,
matchmaking.
Petty
Nah.
doses. All right, cool.
Making.
So, John Leibowitz, you got 2 tickets to Eggy. Let's go on to Boston Calling.
Boston Calling.
Yeah, what did
Well,
Caruso say?
Thank you to John Caruso for also streaming this El Goose and really doing all the work. Do you want me to just recap it right now?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
I mean, I did listen to Born and Hunger. I listened through half of it, all the way through Arcadia.
Okay, Bruce,
But
that's
John
a
definitely
Josh.
has some nice notes here. He's a writer, so let's see what he's got. Born was pretty standard, but well played. I agree. It was pretty standard. I think they kept it to about the album length, about 5 minutes, right?
Yeah,
And
but
then
they had there was no drum intro like there normally is. There's usually that drum intro that kind of sounds like it's going to be
Oh.
Drive, but this was I think
okay.
Rick started it off.
I didn't
Nice.
notice. Okay.
So yeah, a
Nice.
little closer to the studio version.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, cool. But then going to Hunger Site too, just 1-2 right off the album, which made
Yeah.
sense too. I think these are good songs to play at Boston Calling, where you're reaching a different kind of wider audience there, maybe more palatable to the masses, if you will. But
I'd play Born before Metallica as well.
I also love Hunger Site, especially because I'm in the critically acclaimed music video for that. If anybody hasn't seen it, go on YouTube and watch.
You know who else?
Who real actor? What he does, and this is what he does. So I'm glad.
You know who else was
bringing
in
attention
that
to
video and got some stage time
Here's some wintergreen.
at Westville? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Got thrown off the stage by Coach.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here's
Not at all staged.
Quality News 3.
Not at all staged. I was, I saw Kirsten seeking an interview. I was like, yo, Kirsten, man, there's security here, man. But whatever, interview was secured. Check out Quality News 3 for a good solid.
Yeah, that video was
He's
hilarious.
one of the best field
Video
reporters I
piece.
know.
Yeah.
One of the best field reporters
He's
I know.
like Anderson Cooper of Shakedown.
If you will, if Anderson Cooper could strive to be a few of the things that Kirsten is. So,
Maybe like Brian Williams. Who's the dude that
Brian,
basically just bullshitted everyone?
I think Brian Williams lied about most of his life or something.
Yeah, be well. That's what I'm talking about.
However,
Yeah.
I liked him. I liked his,
me too, yeah. Right.
I liked his delivery. I use that in the podcast a lot. But so
Brian
going back to
Williams
John's
is my way into
notes.
having a podcast. Yeah.
So the Hunger Site,
Anyway.
I agree with him. He mentioned that there's a type 1 jam. It's kind of like they get into that after they play through the verses, they get into that pretty fast beat jam. But I did think this one was a better level up from the Hunger Site they played at Sweetwater, which had a decent jam. I definitely think this one just had a little bit more structure to it, and I liked it a lot. And I also liked, John mentioned that it had kind of a welcome the Delta sort of feel. Which I could see that as well, and then it really slowed down, smoothly segued into Moby, which was awesome, and you could hear the people in the crowd. People in the crowd loved Hunger Site when they started to play the opening notes of Hunger Site. You could hear the crowd blow up, and then same with Moby, obviously another fan favorite from Ted Tapes. So definitely a good start, great start for a festival.
I have to say though, that's like a little bit of an audacious move to play the leading song from your instrumental album at Boston Calling. Not to say that it didn't go over well, and according to Bruce, our Brian Williams, there was a audible crowd reaction. But like it's great. It's excellent to know that a massive contingent of folks at Boston Calling was able to respond to Moby. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's cool because I don't know. Even if you like music, it's just a very cool vibe. You're not hearing all the time, but it's palatable. Exactly. I am one of the most. I have so much integrity. Let's just say, I'm the only honest one, really. But besides that, what were we talking about? Moby. So Moby. The good thing about Moby too, Moby's short as well, so it was only a few minutes in length. Yeah. So that keeps it also digestible to everybody.
Dave Strauss poses a really good question. Maybe y'all can answer that in the chat. Boston Calling poll, the readers poll, it was on boston.com/the Boston Globe. Goose was the most wanted to see live act at 70% of all votes. Miles ahead of Metallica somehow. Did it feel that way on site? Interesting little vignette about that article is that when it was published, they did they mentioned that all of the Goose's top songs were songs by the Belgian Goose. So that it's Sunrise, Black Gloves, and another thing. So I had to send a really strongly worded email as if I were Joey Parisi at La Quinta.
Yeah.
And just
kicking the door.
I was like,
sorry, go ahead.
No, that's it.
Okay, please.
That's a publicist story. We get enough of those in it here.
Well, the Goose crowd has swayed lists before. I don't know if you guys remember the greatest bands named after birds list on Ranker got thrown around the group, and apparently Goose is the greatest band ahead of the Eagles named after a bird.
Okay, well that's easy. So, but I'm sure they're not talking about the Belgian Goose. Okay, so post Moby, because I don't have the gall to eat on the stream. I need to eat.
We got to eat.
Okay, here's a good answer from John Caruso, who is actually responsible and knows things. There were a sea of Metallica fans on the green stage, and they had a pretty solid amount of people out there. Said a lot of people reportedly left Weezer because of. Okay, well, so I think
Weezer's been around. Fuck that.
Yeah, what's with these homies dissing my girl? Why do they got?
Go check out this indie groove band, dude. Please, all rock is yesterday's Goose. We're post all rock now. We're indie grooving here.
Yes, we are indie grooving, but I would say that Weezer's had some indie groove moments. In the Garage from the Blue Album, it's like the Shins meets like Peter's hand motions. All right, so
there's just no G Goose. Kind of.
Yes, there we go.
This is a little bit of wallflowers in there or something like that.
Absolutely.
Like that.
I'm
Gin
pretty
blossoms
sure
or some corny shit.
Peter is Rivers Cuomo reincarnated. So,
hey, jealousy! I could see Peter whining that out, But Joey wouldn't like it. I'm just saying.
Well, who's to say?
Beale Street Music Festival in Memphis also had Weezer and Goose back to back, so crews know each other at this point now. I'm sure it's just like looking in the mirror.
Getting a sit-in soon.
Slow Ready followed suit and was a new arrangement.
New piano intro.
Slow Ready. When I was listening, it did take me by surprise. I was like, this has to be the album version. It sounds like it would fit, and then. Just with the vibe of the songs that we've heard already released from the album, except Arrow with car crashes and whatnot. But it does sound. It sounds like it's got the same kind of vibe as it does on Dripfield. So as the other songs on Dripfield. So it'll be cool to see if that's actually the case. It definitely sounds like it. They've never played Slow Ready like that.
Or the album version will be fast ready. I don't know. Okay.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Definitely knows.
I'm so ready all day anyway. Okay. All right. So Arcadia followed with a Dripfield-esque intro.
Yep. And Arcadia is where it kind of ran out.
Arpeggiated type stuff. Bruce, how's that Arcadia?
I mean, I was thinking while I was listening, and what John wrote here was it otherwise, had a Dripfield-esque intro, but otherwise pretty standard version. I mean, Dripfield-esque in a way that a lot of their playing generally now feels like it's the same vibe that you're hearing on the Dripfield album. That's probably on purpose in some ways, playing with that kind of vibe throughout all of their songs. And you've heard a bunch of that in the Winter tour as well from certain shows. So it's something that they're going to be doing a little bit. But at Arcadia, we've heard, and I don't want to say this like a snob, but I absolutely will. We've heard so many good Arcadias.
Yeah. True.
But it's hard to find one that's, it's got to be something now to be impressive. Kind of like
9,
even
17,
at
20.
Even at the Mission show, that one's still incredible. But even at the Mission show, that 11/22 last year, but that was nasty. And you could tell, but it's still like when they started playing it, I'm like, okay, I almost always want to test it, to be like, okay, let's hear how this Arcadia goes, and it's, standard version. I thought it was kind of a standard version as well, but unfortunately that's where I had to stop listening. I did hear this White Lights afterwards was good from some people online.
Nice. That's good. That's good.
I saw with the picture they had like a Ferris wheel next to them. I wonder, like, it probably felt good with the lights of the Ferris wheel glowing up next to the stage.
Oh yeah. I did have to ask some good friends of the podcast for their thoughts on Austin Calling and some contributions they could make to our broadcast today because we're slacking.
Yeah.
And Matt Kalinsky, another Matt, friend of the pod.
Blimpin' man.
Quote, Blimpin' man. Arcadia was dirty dusk Ferris wheel vibes. Super high energy, lots of new faces. Take that with what you want. But interesting comment from a man known for interesting comments. Micmac says the real fans pee during Arcadia. My friend, the answer to that would be the real fans pee on themselves. So
Joey B's during Wisteria, by the way.
Oh my God,
we did cover this.
Can't bear to hear the great beyond. All right, so close out the set with Silver Rising from the Teen Wolf soundtrack and Hot Tea, the only review of the weekend. Give the people what they want, a little festy tea, maybe a mushroom tea as well.
Yeah. So honestly, for a festival set, personally thought it was way better than Sweetwater. It was a shorter set, first of all, much different time. They got a later slot, but I think this was a set that really, I think, probably struck a good chord at Boston Calling. Like talked about a festival that definitely has a lot of mixed musical interest there. And they played some poppier stuff. They played Silver Rising, some of their indie stuff. They gave people what they wanted with Arcadia and Hot Tea, and I think that was a good set for sure.
Definitely. Yeah, I think it really shows Goose's versatility, right? What the band's becoming. Start with indie, end with groove. Bam. Everybody's happy. Go to Metallica.
Bing, bang. That's how it goes. Yeah.
All right, cool. So we did it. We successfully recapped everything in an hour and 7 minutes. Just wait till we have 5 shows in a week. So we'll be back with a lot more Goose Day Tuesday nighttime editions this summer. By a lot more, I mean only on Tuesdays. Only this summer.
Not too many more, don't worry.
No, yes, only some more. We know that you've had enough of us. Let's do a little giveaway. I think all of you probably know. We're doing this Goose sign created by Matt Perry. Crafted out of rosewood, sourced from a distant continent, and made by hand, cut by jigsaw, covered in epoxy, and ready to rumble for your wall at home. It was also worn at Westville on my neck. So I have a trivia question for y'all. All you have to do is drop an answer in the chat. So, trivia question in the chat. What is the first song ever? I need the song and the date and the venue.
Song and date and venue.
Song, date, venue. First song, date, venue that Coach played Brainstick on stage with Goose.
Ooh,
your chance to win the Goose sign created by.
I know that. I think I know the answer.
Well, I think you're ineligible for a victory. But
very much so, Joey.
No, but I'm curious. This is like the first trivia that I feel like I may know.
Which is good because some of them are horrible.
I haven't known.
Well, some of them are so some of them predate me. Maybe this does, and I just don't know it.
You can tell Greg prepared these questions tonight. I feel like sometimes they're off the fly, here.
Wow, look at this comment.
date.
Greg Eichler says, lame. You're supposed to...
That's not the winning answer.
Greg community, dog.
That's not the winning
Come
answer.
on, bruh. Come on, man. You're disrespecting all of us when you say that. All right. So we've got, no right answers now. I can hear our manager laughing from the other room. Your chance.
Is there an answer that is potentially right, but just is missing information?
There's an answer that has a right component.
Oh, an answer that has a right component.
Is it what was it? Can you rephrase your question? The first time Coach played Rainstick.
Coach John Lombardi.
On stage.
The song, the venue, and the date.
Coach John Lombardi.
Yeah.
Has been
just the first time he played Rainstick?
First time he played Rainstick with the band.
But what's the song? What's the venue at? And what's
song
the
venue?
Okay.
Venue. I think it's the only time that they played that song.
Because there's a certain
It was the song debut for sure.
Oh, that's not what I was thinking then.
It was Coach in the library with the Rainstick.
With the Rainstick, yeah.
It was actually it was Coach in the lounge with the candelabra.
It was song, date, venue.
This is a hard one.
If we don't get an answer, then they're gonna have to do it by email, or Joey gets to sign.
Yeah.
I know that there's people that are in the chat right now that were at the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's a lot of. Not necessarily.
Not you guys, like our listeners.
Oh, well.
I think listen to the ad reads. Bruce cuts his weave.
Speaking of ad reads, y'all better drink some of this coffee.
After a nice cup of cold brew from Grady's. Start your day off strong, baby. Grady's.
Use the code word BEYOND and get yourself some coffee.
That's it.
Brew your going cold brew at home.
Dave Strauss says Bingo Tour June 19th is the internet. Two things are all of that's incorrect. I don't know what is the internet means, but what I can say is that if that's what it says online, that's not true. But it did happen. You guys got to think back. Should I give another? Should I give another clue?
Wait, can I ask a question and you say yes or no?
Oh, the internet. Like bingo. No, that Dave Strauss. I get it now. Sorry about that, man.
Oh my God.
I'm a cyberbully. Okay. So should I give a clue?
Yeah. Can't cyberbully.
Yeah.
Our friends.
Sorry,
wait, can
Dave.
I?
Yeah, we need every listener.
Can we ask questions and you just say yes or no?
No. This is not a giveaway for you. Nope, Daniel Ralph. Nobody's got it yet.
I'm not giving not like hardcore.
Okay, you ask me questions, like 20 questions.
Yeah.
Yes. That's 19. You already asked me one.
All right. So I don't know. Was it in Connecticut?
Nah, man. Come on, dog.
Okay. All right. That's because there's a lot of.
Was it at the La Quinta?
All right. Could edit that out on the actual release. So let's a couple salad beers. All right.
Because I was thinking something from Bingo Tour, but if it's not Connecticut, then
here's a clue. Think basketball.
Oh, I see.
I don't know what song it was though.
I know. I'm trying to think that myself, Joey. Let me see. I'm gonna take a look. See,
Greg.
Knowing the Rainstick guy, he probably didn't put it in the.
No, it's in there. Oh, it's in there. It's in there.
Think basketball.
It's in there.
Y'all.
Wow, I can't believe nobody's getting this.
Playing basketball.
We're playing fast.
NBA Finals on ABC this Thursday.
I don't know. Well, yeah, really.
First the Warriors. Come on, y'all.
Oh,
Think
Warriors
basketball.
gonna crush them.
Come on. This is going to be the most hilarious episode to listen back to.
Yeah, right.
Somebody's got to win this Black Goose line. It's sick. I did see it in person.
Yeah.
It's sick. Oh no, I didn't. I saw it in pictures though, but it's awesome. I know Matt has been talking about making this.
We're gonna have to break it into thirds.
Yeah. What if Matt guessed it?
Boom! We've got
there you go.
Now
we were laying it on thick
from Washington D.C. Love Me Sexy Halloween 2019 Mercury Lounge all-in-one comment. That's what we like to see.
Yeah, Nas killed it.
Send me your address. You know where to find me. You want a Goose sign? We don't even have those.
Yeah.
Hey man, you got 6 hours.
That run of 50
got 6 hours to go because we can use some behind us. I'm just kidding. Thank you for making that for us. Nas, you are the winner. Love Me Sexy Halloween 2019 Mercury Lounge, the semi-pro Halloween. Jackie Moon was the singer.
That was the opener too. I didn't realize Coach played Rainstick on that.
I forgot all about it. Definitely, but yeah.
How did they fit him on stage?
Oh, tiniest little stage, but they didn't have Jeff then, so
yeah,
even then they can make a little more space. So,
and John, he played blacks. They could handle it.
He could fit.
Let's wrap it up.
Right. Now, what were you gonna say?
So we'll be back next week. We're gonna recap the upcoming shows. And we said we'll be here Tuesdays live during tour with a bunch of fun, bunch of giveaways, and the three of us for what it's worth. So tune in next week.
Could be worse, I guess. Somehow.
Do we have one next week?
We'll probably do a recorded episode next week.
Between now and then, we got to have some sort of episode.
If Goose plays between now and then,
Osiris is demanding work from us.
They are playing CBS this morning on Saturday, right?
Nope, they're not.
No, is that next Saturday?
They will soon, by the end of June.
Wow.
Okay, never mind.
Oops, just stay tuned, everybody.
All right, let's wrap this up here. So thank y'all for tuning in. We'll be back when Goose plays. Check it out, though, next week. We got a studio episode coming. We've got a whole lot of really good guests coming for studio episodes this summer. So please, please, please bear with us as we get through our personal strife. And Bruce, leave them with some wisdom.
I can't. I feel sorry for all of you, but thank you for joining us tonight. And I'm glad somebody won these prizes because they're pretty sick. And like Greg said, just make sure to check out our studio episode next week. Stay tuned for these live streams. Fun hanging with all of y'all. And we'll try to do a better job letting people know about it next time.
Love you guys. Joey, do you want to say anything?
Greg's got it right. How about them Yankees? Yeah. No, so there's something about
second best record in the league.
Goose crowds. It's like I was talking to Kieran. Kieran's a big Mets fan, and we talk some smack every once in a while. Goose concerts are now like a safe haven for Mets fans to, wear their gear, be themselves.
I don't know how I feel
about that. I don't like it. I'm not a fan of it.
Mixed feelings.
But whatever. That Goose
really after I turn this
they
off.
need somewhere to go, I guess.
Yeah.
They won some games so far. We'll see what happens at the end of the season.
Yeah, we'll see the All-Star break.
Thanks to our guest Matt Perry for joining us. Thank you to all of us for all of us, all of you, all of us. Not today. For sticking with us. Love you guys all. Miss you dearly. See you at shows. Have Bruce on the back and Rose. Bye.
Later, everyone.
Down the pathway to the great beyond.
Osiris.